Well, even though we're logged into Classic while Shadowlands realms are down, we have been talking about legendaries a lot, and with the release of patch 9.0.5, I think that's kind of like the main subject of discussion for Warriors in particular. So we can take a few moments here on stream to talk about them together. Now, I guess one of the first things to mention, I guess we're gonna get to it anyway, but I just see it in the chat. Basically, with Exploiter, it was gonna get buffed in PvP. Now it is not buffed in PvP. That's all there is to it, and that's what's gonna be reflected in the thing. But I guess the main arms legendaries that are changing are Enduring Blow, the one where it makes your Mortal Strike have a chance to apply Colossus Smash. So it's upping the chance that it applies Colossus Smash and increasing the duration of Colossus Smash that it gets procced. This one is probably, like, cool. I want it to be good. I mean, obviously, like, with Mortal Combo, it has, like, you know, if Mortal Combo procs, I bet it also has a chance to proc the Colossus Smash effect off the Mortal Combo. So that's pretty cool, and it's definitely a buff. I don't think it's going to be one that you make, but if you guys make it and try it out, let me know what you think. But this is the one that I think I'm going to be making my main for sure, and the one that I think everybody except for probably Venthyr is going to be making as their main offensive legendary is Battlelord. So Battlelord used to be, it would proc a Mortal Strike, or like, not proc a Mortal Strike, but it would refresh the cooldown of your Mortal Strike, and make your next Mortal Strike cost less rage, but it was off of Slam, right? So now it's off of Overpower, which is like, it might seem like a small change, but it's massive, because in PvP, you hardly ever press Slam, but you're like always pressing Overpower, as long as Mortal Strike and Execute aren't available, right? So what's going to end up happening is you're going to Mortal Strike, Overpower, and then it's going to, if it procs, Mortal Strike, Overpower, and then it can proc again, Mortal Strike, Overpower, and whenever you press, because whenever you press Mortal Strike and it spends Rage, it has a chance to proc the Overpower too, right? So like, you can potentially just continue to Mortal Strike, Overpower over and over, and that rotation, even if it doesn't happen all like that every time, because it's a 40% chance to proc, the way that it feeds into itself in the rotation is just so nice. And Mortal Strike hits pretty hard, and Mortal Combo, having more chances to proc Mortal Combo from more Mortal Strikes off of pressing Overpower, and having Mortal Strike cost like half the rage that it cost before, right? Because it reduces the rage cost of your next Mortal Strike by 15 rage. It used to be 12, so it's a buff in the fact that it actually has some rotational smoothness, and it costs less rage too. So yeah, this is really, really nice. It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be super smooth for Warrior gameplay. And yeah, I mean, even if the chance to proc Mortal Strike gets nerfed, I mean, it's still gonna be pretty smooth, I think. Even if it was like 30% or something like that. But hopefully not. Hopefully not. Because this is gonna make, I mean, like, this thing, like this effect of your not Mortal Strike ability proccing a Mortal Strike or buffing a Mortal Strike or whatever, like, you know how Mortal Strike used to proc like Colossus Smash reset in Legion, and then well, I actually reset both, right? It reset Mortal Strike and Thingo, something like that, right? And then in BFA you had Strike the Anvil, where Overpower would reduce the cooldown of your Mortal Strike by like 1.5 seconds, which wasn't a full reset, but it's the similar idea, right? This effect just makes Warrior gameplay feel so silky smooth, and I think everybody's going to use this as their main offensive legendary, except maybe for Venthyr, which still might want to use Exploiter. Although Battlelord, I haven't tested it, Battlelord might feel so good that even Venthyr uses it. Exploiter, they were going to buff it. It was going to be like, you know, 50% increased damage and 36% increased damage, whatever, but it's not going through in PvP, basically. So this thing, it doesn't really reflect it, right? That was like a super recent nerf, like last night, because if this change went in to the game, then it would be absolutely broken. And I don't mean broken like, whoa, that's a cool build. I'd like, actually, like, this is way out of scale with how strong something should be in the game. So Exploiter, this buff that you're seeing right here is for PvE. Basically, it's only being buffed in PvE. It's being left the same in PvP, which still means Exploiter is still good for Venthyr. It's just not mega busted. But the thing to take away from this is Like, every warrior for Arena is probably going to play Battlelord, and then you want to make Mirror as well, right? I think you'll probably still swap to Mirror against some stuff, but once again, Battlelord not only is, like, nice for, like, numbers, like, oh, okay, you're going to be able to use Mortal Strikes more, deal more damage. It's just, like, it's just going to make your gameplay feel so freaking good, you know? It's going to feel so good. With the rage reduction and just the overpower Mortal Strike sort of potential, right? Just proccing back to back like that is just gonna make Warrior feel so good, and it helps with rage management too, right? So, Necrolord, Kyrian, and Night Fae, they're probably gonna make this legendary. I'm gonna make this legendary instantly in my main, maybe even Venthyr, but I think Venthyr probably still uses Exploiter. Now, if you're an Orc, Cephas is still good. In general, Reflect is still good. Things like Unhinged lose value, right? I think Battlelord takes over for Unhinged. What else did people make? For PvP, that was pretty much it, right? You have your offensive legendary was like Unhinged for a lot of people. Your swap legendary was Mirror, and then if you're an Orc, you can play Cephas, and then if you're a Venthyr, you play Exploiter for your offensive legendary. But Battlelord is just going to change the, like, Warriors are already good. But this is going to take, like, some of the chunkiness out of the warrior rotation, where you kind of spend some time with not having anything to press. It's going to happen a lot less with Battlelord, which is also going to increase your pumps, I feel like, with Mortal Strikes hitting more often and Mortal Combos happening more often. And think of your two conduits that you play for PvP. You play the Overpower and Mortal Strike conduits, right? Overpower does more damage. Mortal Combos, chance to proc Mortal Strike. So, like, it just all synergizes so well. And I'm like, crazy excited about it. So... yeah, right. So Exploiter was changed, right? But it just means it's the same. It's still good. Ceph is still good for Orcs, but I think that Battlelord is going to be like just the #1 legendary for Warriors, just because of how smooth it's going to play and how actually good it is too. But yeah, Exploiter is still good for Venthyr. It's just not mega broken busted, which is going to be the problem if the buff that this says got into the game. We can talk about Fury stuff too. Cadence of Fujita. The amount of time that you have that haste buff is increased to 12 seconds, so that's cool. That's cool. Will of the Berserker, similar kind of thing. The amount of time that you have extra crit after Recklessness expires is increased. Raging Blow keeps that going. So it was 8 seconds, now it's 12. I thought it was going to be 8% crit too, but maybe not. Reckless Defense, this one was kind of funky in the fact that, like, you had to crit rampages or whatever. Now it's just rampage strikes have a 20% chance, not rampage critical strikes. So that's kind of cool, I guess. And it reduces it only by 1 second, not 3 seconds. Okay. So then there's prot stuff. What does this do now? Charge and intervene, grant you shield block and revenge. And generate rage. Okay. Cool. Unbreakable Will now also grants an additional charge of shield wall. That's kind of cool. You have 2 charges of shield wall, and it grants like half of its effect to all party members. That's pretty cool. And Seismic Reverberation only for prot increases the whole whirlwind thing. Increases its damage of that last whirlwind. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. But yeah. Oh yeah, you think that playing that one talent to reset overpower when you charge is gonna be a thing? I mean, maybe. I guess it puts like some possibility of that being used. So Battlelord Venthyr, I think, is still going to be good. I just think that you might still be better off with Exploiter. But I think so I haven't tested it yet, but just from having played the game for a long time and sort of looking at it and understanding it, I think that Battlelord is going to be the best warrior legendary. And not just because it's like, this legendary makes you do 3% more DPS compared to everything else. I'm just talking about how the gameplay feels, right? Just in terms of how smooth that's going to make warrior rotation. So, very excited about that. But yeah, I think that Exploiter is still going to be good for Venthyr. I'll test it. I made Exploiter on my Orc Warrior yesterday, so I'll see what Exploiter versus Battlelord kind of feels like. But it's only level 1, so like if I want to make if I just fall in love with Battlelord playing on my Night Fae Warrior, maybe I'll make it up for Venthyr too. We'll see. But fluid butt mashing for sure, definitely. But yeah, that's the main changes that I want to talk about for warrior legendaries. The main takeaway is Unhinged loses value, Battlelord takes the spot of Unhinged as like the best warrior offensive legendary for non-Venthyr warriors. Exploiter probably stays really, really good for Venthyr, even though it didn't get mega buffed. But Battlelord might also be good for Venthyr too. So I guess the takeaway from this video is make Battlelord, right? Because it's gonna be sick. And I'm gonna be doing a lot of, like, as soon as servers come up, I'll make Battlelord, I'll do Torghast, upgrade as much as I can, and then we'll do some PvP with it. But yeah, I think that Battlelord, like a lot of things for warrior, is just like on the money. Whoever, we said earlier today, whoever is in charge of warrior stuff for Shadowlands, give them a raise, get him a new office chair, get him a new Origin PC, buy him some Corsair peripherals, because these guys are killing it. I feel like they're in touch with warriors and what works and what needs to be changed, and they're making warriors the best class in WoW right now, and probably, you know, one of the most fun to play. My favorite, personally, of course, but yeah, it's awesome. They're killing it, man. Make Battlelord. That'll be the plan. And that's what we're doing first thing once we log in. So, there we go.